Hey, it's your coach, Laurie McNaughton, coming to you again today with another few tips on how you can maximize the potential of your team. You might notice that this is one of my favorite subjects. I love working with teams. I love watching them blossom. I love watching them go from feeling like they have to do something to wanting to do something and becoming a valuable part in any organization's success at any given time. I've said this, and I continue to say this: no company wins without a winning team. And so it's imperative that you work with the top level of your team, the management, the executives, stakeholders in the company or organization, to improve their leadership, communication, and leadership and communication skills. There's just so much more potential in any team at any given time, and even the teams that are the best they're always looking at ways to make improvements and become even better. And so they're always looking at, how do we become better leaders? How do we become better communicators? How do we become, and you spread that down through your organization, and down at the grassroots level, it's like, how do we become more efficient? How do we become more productive? How do we work together more as a team so that we can do more? And let me just start out, and I want to ask this question: what would it mean to your team? And I don't care what level you're at, whether you're a small company with 10 employees or you've got 500 employees. What would it mean to your company or your organization if you could just get 10% more productivity out of your team? Just 10%. If you have 10 employees, that's like a free person working for you. I recently read a quote by Jeff Bezos, and I'm going to paraphrase it because I don't remember exactly what it was, but basically what he was saying is that, you can use a heavy hand, or you can try and force or use a heavy-handed approach to get your team to do more. But the minute that you're not there doing that, they go back to doing it the way they want it, the way they feel comfortable doing it. It's a very ineffective way to motivate people. It's a very ineffective way to get the best out of your people. Now, I know some of your people are going, oh yeah, but what about all these young, entitled, I think they call them millennials. I always say to those people that, entitled people think they're entitled to high-performing, dedicated, loyal employees. And I say that with all due respect to you, because I've talked to a lot of business owners over the 20 years that I've been coaching business owners and their teams and working with their teams. And I get activated when I hear people, oh, all I can find is all these entitled people. All these employees are entitled people. And I say, well, so you're entitled to have these people just show up on your doorstep? So Tony Robbins said this at one of the courses that I was at back in 1994, 95. And he said, there are no lazy people out there. There's just uninspired people. I want to just think about that statement for a minute. There are no lazy people out there. There are only uninspired people. So how are you inspiring your people? Now, just think of a time in your lifetime when you were truly inspired by something, and think about how that felt to you and what it made you go out and do. If you don't want to have surrounded yourself with entitled people, first of all, stop thinking that you're entitled just to have them show up here. If you want high-performing, dedicated, loyal employees, first you have to have a company that attracts those kinds of people. And I've worked, and I said, I've been doing this for 20 years now, and I've worked with some, I would say, very unattractive companies. I'm thinking of a couple off the top of my head. One was this company was almost a $30 million company, and the owner of the company was like wealthy. He, made, I don't know, $1 million or $2 million a year in income. Had a very luxurious home, luxurious vacation property, and on several occasions when I was meeting with him, he would complain to me about the entitled people who would steal toilet paper or steal paper towel or a pen or a pad of paper from him. And I was thinking to myself, so you're making, I don't know, $1 million a year, or paying yourself an exorbitant amount of money. I don't know what it was, to be honest with you, what he was paying himself, but he was making a lot of money. And he was more concerned with somebody stealing a roll of toilet paper from him than he was about, how do I get everybody working together? How do I create a team that wants to go out and win? I worked with another company, and I didn't work with this guy for very long because of his attitude towards the staff that worked for him. And he was in the construction industry. I'm not going to name the industry because I'm not interested in outing this person in any way, shape, or form. I just want to make a point of it. But it was this kind of construction was so they weren't a home builder, but they were one of these ones that offered services to home builders. And it was hard work, no question about it. It was hard work. And when I first started working with him and when I went through what I call the alignment process, was for me to understand everything that he knows or she knows about how their business or businesses run successfully. And then I put together a plan to help them focus on the things that are going to really make a difference in their business. Because, after 20 years, I've gained a pretty good understanding of the challenges that business owners face and the solutions to those things. And I look at it from a cause and effect, or, the symptom is I'm working too much. The cause is what? So I look to find out what the cause is. But anyways, in this case, it was talking about, how do we motivate his team? How do we inspire his team? How do we get them to want to be the best that they can be? And he basically said to me, Laurie, there's no point in doing this. You got to understand the people that are working in this industry are on the bottom rung of the ladder. And, spending any time or doing anything to help them would be pointless. So it wasn't very long after that I said, I don't think this is going to work out between you and I don't want to waste your time and or your money. So if you want to get a high-performing, dedicated, loyal employee or team working for you, the first thing you need to do is start to work on creating a company that attracts the very best. And where you should start with that is your vision and your mission and culture, or your core values. So if you think about it from the perspective of, let's say the vision is to climb Mount Everest. That's the vision. So the mission is how we're going to get there. So it could be, we're going to hire the best trainers, we're going to hire the best guides, the best Sherpas, we're going to get the very best equipment, we're going to have a nutritionist work with us for running up to the event so that we're in the top physical shape that we can possibly be in. We're going to run up some different smaller mountains to get ourselves acclimatized, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So vision, climb Mount Everest. Mission, how you're going to get there. And the core values are how people will behave on the way there. I always look at it from this perspective. This is your sandbox. This business is your sandbox. So you don't just let people come in and play in your business with their own rules. They're stealing your toys and, bullying the other kids and throwing sand in people's faces. That's not how a successful business runs. So the core values are, what does the leadership of this company represent as core values? So vision, climb the mountain, mission, how we're going to get there, core values, how you'll behave on the way there. Now you're taking a step in the right direction to create a company that will attract the very best of the very best. Now, the next thing you need to do is, and this is another thing in it, companies get better and better at this as they get bigger and bigger and bigger, but the small companies, this is where you can make such a big difference in a very short period of time. And I know people say, oh, it takes too much time to do that. Well, it takes, let me explain this first before I start, because you're going to rinse and repeat if you don't do this. So once you've got this vision and mission and core values and you're going, this is how I'm going to grow my company. Now you got to get an ad that attracts the best people. Not an ad that looks like everybody else's ad that's out there, come and work for us. here's how much you get paid, you work 5 days, whatever that is. Write an ad that attracts the best people and deselects the worst. So the best or the worst people read your ad and they go, I don't want anything to do with that. I might have to work if I go to work there. So write an ad that attracts the best people. Then you got to have an interview process that weeds out the pretenders. So you got to take your time with this. Like, too many people, it's like, oh, I got to fill a position in my company. I need an installer. I need a salesperson. I need a project manager. And they put out a really terrible ad. They attract a bunch of terrible people. They weed out down to 3 or 4 resumes. They come in and all they ask them is some questions around, their capabilities, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They know nothing about what motivates this person. They know nothing about what would inspire this person to become the best, and what they've done in the past to inspire and enroll other people. There's a little light bulb moment for you. So you want to weed out the pretenders. So you want to ask them more questions about life lessons that they've learned and how they approach these lessons, how they approach life, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Once you understand that this is a person that's motivated by some values they have for themselves, they're motivated by, becoming the best that they can be, then you've got a start here. Now the next thing to do is, once you've weeded out the pretenders, then you want to, whoever it is that you decide to hire, to make them feel like they've just come home. Make them feel like this is the last job that they're going to need. They're going to be able to fulfill, and this is the key, their hopes, their dreams, their desires, and their goals by working here at this organization, working for you. And then train the heck out of them and give them every opportunity to succeed. Train the heck out of them and give them every opportunity to succeed, and coach them. Don't manage them, lead them. And the next thing you need to do is make sure that when you have wins, and they don't have to be huge wins, when they have wins, celebrate with your team. Celebrate them and reward them. And it doesn't have to be monetary rewards. It can be, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't have to be. One of the people that I worked for 30 years ago, I shouldn't even say how old I am, or date myself, I should say. But one time he just went around and gave everybody, not everybody, but certain people, $100 cash as just a flash bonus. And got a huge amount of traction from that. Simple things like that. Employee of the month, doing things as a team to help people feel and come together and have each other's backs. I said this earlier on, I'm going to repeat myself. No team, no company ever wins without a winning team of people behind it. No boss, no employer, no manager by themselves is the reason why their team or their company or their organization succeeds. It's their ability to get the best out of those people, to pull the very best out of them, that is the reason why they succeed, and that's not even debatable. If you read John Maxwell's book, The 5 Levels of Leadership, the very first level of leadership is positional, meaning you own the company, so that makes you a boss. Or you promote somebody into a position of management, so that makes you a boss. But that does not make you a leader. As you go up levels, so you go from the positional to personal, meaning, I can get behind this guy or gal because I like them. Then the next level, the third level, is that you can get behind them because you like them and they've also done some things that you're interested in learning how they've done them. And then the fourth level is growing people. And once you get to that fourth level, that's where most of you will ever max out at the fourth level. That's where you should That should be your goal, is to get to the fourth level. That's where you're growing people. When you grow people, I'm telling you, everything gets easy after that. The top level, fifth level, is for leaders who their name precedes themselves. You know, people like Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King Jr., Oprah Winfrey, people like that who, you know, just invoking their name gets people interested in following them because of the things that they've accomplished in their lives. So if you want to have the best out of your people, remember to create a business that will attract the best. Create a hiring process that will weed out the pretenders, and then once you get them, give them every opportunity to succeed at the highest levels. And when they do succeed, make sure that you reward them and celebrate the wins that you have with your team. So I do a 1 and 2 day leadership training course, depending on the size of the organization. And it's all around communication and leadership and how you can become the best organization. And what I try to do is to put this together as a package of 21 total hours. Now, it doesn't always work for all companies like that because I would need to have a minimum of 10 people. But if you have a small group, we can do a 1 day leadership and communication course that will change the course and direction of your company. And then we can do some coaching afterwards to make sure that we maintain that level of energy that takes your business to that level, to where you need it to be in order to succeed. And then we go from there. So again, it's your coach, Laurie McNaughton, coming to you again with a great tip. And you'll find that most of my tips, if I can call them that, are around people, because I'm a big believer in people. I look at, the purpose of life, and I think, people say, I don't know what my purpose is. I don't know what my purpose is. And then there's books written about purpose. And I guess, there's a way for those books to guide you to find what your purpose is. But for me, it's pretty simple. And I think this is really everybody's purpose, and that's to be in service of others. If you're helping other people get what they want, you'll get everything that you want. Zig Ziglar said that in a speech that I heard him give 25 years ago, maybe a little bit longer. But he said, if you help other people get what they want, you'll get everything you want. And that's just not things. I want to be upfront about that, because, hey, listen, I'm happy for people to get wealthy, and I'm happy for people to enjoy the trappings of wealth. I just don't want people to get caught up in what I want in life is to be wealthy. The way I look at things is, first I want to be healthy, because I don't believe, and then I want to be happy, because I don't believe I can be happy if I'm not healthy. I don't think anybody's happy if they're not healthy. People that are, have health challenges, it's very difficult for them to be happy. Now, some people are, but it's very difficult. So for me, it's health. I want to be healthy, I want to be happy, and I want to be wealthy. And I believe that when I'm healthy and I'm happy, the wealth just comes. It just flows to me. I'm one of the most sought after coaches here in Edmonton. And part of the reason is my approach to life is that I want to be of service. I want to help you get what you want. So go to my website, lauriemcnaughton.com, and right on the front page is a link. You can book a 15-minute discovery meeting with me. I always start with a 15-minute discovery meeting, because I don't want to waste your time, and I don't want to waste my time, because as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, that time is our most valuable asset. And so I want to understand what the challenge is, and if I can help you with that challenge. And if I feel like I can help you with that challenge, then we'll book a much longer meeting, and we'll start the process of working to build rapport and understanding about what it is that I do and how it can help you take your business to the next level. So thank you for your time. I hope you found this valuable. And if you did, please subscribe to the channel and like the video. Thank you very much. Take care and have a great day.